Before we get into today's story, Buckeye fans, make sure you smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join this channel for daily Ohio State football news, rumors, recruiting updates, and breaking coaching developments because things are moving fast in Columbus and you do not want to miss what's coming next. Now let's talk about something that sounds crazy at first but might actually be great news for Ohio State football. The Chicago Bears just suffered a brutal, soul-crushing playoff loss, and somehow, that pain in Chicago could end up being a massive win for the Buckeyes. On Sunday night, the Bears were knocked out of the NFL postseason in overtime by the Los Angeles Rams, a loss that will live in Chicago sports misery for years. But while Bears fans were staring at their TVs in disbelief, Ryan Day and the Ohio State coaching staff were probably looking at that result with a very different reaction: opportunity. Ohio State still does not have an offensive coordinator for the 2026 season, and that's the biggest unanswered question hanging over this program right now. With Brian Hartline taking his talents to South Florida, the Buckeyes are officially without a play caller, and as the days pass, it's becoming more obvious that Ryan Day is being patient on purpose because he's shopping in the NFL. Ohio State hasn't rushed to hire anyone, hasn't leaked any obvious favorites, and hasn't made a public move, and now we may know why. Day is waiting for NFL seasons to end so he can finally talk to the coaches he really wants. That Bears loss officially opens the door to a name that Buckeye fans have been whispering about for weeks: J.T. Barrett. Yes, that J.T. Barrett, the Ohio State legend, record-setting quarterback, team leader, and now rising NFL coach. Barrett is currently the quarterback's coach for the Chicago Bears, and with Chicago's season now over, there's nothing stopping Ohio State from requesting an interview if Ryan Day believes Barrett could be the next offensive coordinator in Columbus. And suddenly, this storyline just got very real. Barrett has been working directly with Caleb Williams, helping the former Heisman winner take a major step forward in his development this season, and the results speak for themselves. Williams looked more comfortable, more decisive, and more efficient, and that growth reflects well on the Bears' QB room, and on Barrett as a coach. Even more important, Barrett has been learning under Ben Johnson, who is widely viewed across the NFL as one of the brightest offensive minds in the entire league. That's not just good experience, that's a masterclass. Barrett has spent the last few seasons absorbing NFL-level concepts, advanced passing schemes, protection systems, and quarterback development techniques that simply don't exist in most college systems, and if he were to bring that knowledge back to Ohio State, it could give the Buckeyes a massive edge in modernizing their offense. Now, let's be clear, J.T. Barrett has never been a full-time play caller, and that's the biggest question mark in this entire conversation. But Ohio State is not short on offensive infrastructure, and Ryan Day himself is one of the best offensive minds in college football. If Day wanted a coordinator who could develop quarterbacks, recruit elite talent, and help install a cutting-edge NFL-style system, Barrett checks every single box except experience calling plays, and that's something that can be learned, especially when you're working alongside Ryan Day. And let's talk about recruiting for a second, because this is where the Barrett hire becomes absolutely dangerous for the rest of the country. Imagine J.T. Barrett walking into a five-star quarterback's living room, wearing that Ohio State logo, telling kids he played in big games, won championships, set records, and now coaches in the NFL. That's a recruiting cheat code. Quarterbacks would listen, receivers would listen, parents would listen, high school coaches would listen. The name alone carries weight, but the resume now backs it up with NFL credibility. Ohio State has always recruited well, but pairing the Buckeye brand with an NFL-trained coach who literally lived the Ohio State quarterback experience could take things to another level. And don't underestimate the emotional side of this either. Buckeye fans would rally behind this hire instantly. The locker room would buy in immediately. Alumni would support it. Recruits would love it. There are very few hires that unite fans and players the way a J.T. Barrett return would. Now, the next few days are going to tell us everything. If Ryan Day brings Barrett in for an interview, that means he is seriously considering him for the job, and that alone would confirm that Day is thinking outside the box and looking toward the future of college football, a future that looks more like the NFL every year. But if Barrett doesn't get an interview, then that tells us something else just as important. Ryan Day has his eyes on other NFL names that haven't even been reported yet. Either way, the Bears' loss matters, because it clears the calendar and removes the final obstacle to Ohio State getting access to one of its most intriguing OC candidates. And that's why this painful moment for Chicago could turn into a defining moment for Ohio State's 2026 season. The Buckeyes are at a crossroads offensively, and the next hire will shape how this team looks, how it recruits, and how it competes for championships moving forward. Whether it's J.T. Barrett or another NFL mind, one thing is clear: Ryan Day is playing the long game, and this move is going to be calculated, intentional, and huge. So Buckeye fans, keep your eyes open, keep refreshing your feeds, and get ready, because the next big Ohio State announcement could come at any moment. And if you want to stay ahead of the story, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it with every Buckeye fan you know, because we are covering every twist and turn of this coaching search right here on the channel.